A tale of lost love discovered my girlfriend betrayal. Once, in a little town, I lived a simple life with my girlfriend, Emily. We had been together since high school, and everyone around us admired our relationship. It seemed perfect to them, filled with countless memories like prom dances and lazy afternoons by the town's lake. We always thought our lives were destined to remain intertwined, a beautiful promise of forever. As we transitioned into university life, Emily and I faced the inevitable challenges of growing up. Emily started studying at the local university, while I found a job at a construction firm. I worked long hours, saving up for our future. Despite our busy schedules, we always tried to make time for each other, holding onto the promises we had made during quieter times. I believed in our relationship with all my heart. I worked hard, not just for myself, but for our shared dreams. Even though we couldn't spend as much time together as before, I cherished every moment we managed to steal from our hectic lives. I knew Emily was busy with her studies and new friends, but I trusted her completely. One day, Emily mentioned a new transfer student she had met at the university library. His name was Leo. I remember the way Emily's eyes sparkled when she talked about their conversations on literature and philosophy. I was happy she had found someone who shared her academic interests, someone who could engage in the intellectual banter she loved. As the semester progressed, I noticed subtle changes in Emily. She seemed more distant, often distracted when we were together. I chalked it up to the stress of school and work, reassuring myself that our bond was strong enough to withstand these challenges. I tried to be supportive, giving her space when she needed it and always being there when she wanted to talk. Then, one evening, Emily came to me with a look I had never seen before. Her eyes were filled with guilt and pain. She confessed that she had been seeing Leo and that their relationship had turned into something more than just friendship. I felt my world shatter in that moment. The trust I had placed in Emily, the love I had nurtured for years, was betrayed. Emily explained that she had developed feelings for Leo, feelings she could no longer ignore. She said she had to follow her heart, even if it meant breaking mine. I listened, my heart heavy with sorrow. I wanted to scream, to beg her to stay, but deep down, I knew I couldn't make her love me if her heart was no longer mine. With a heavy heart, I accepted the breakup. I watched Emily walk away, knowing that a part of me was leaving with her. The hurt in my eyes was something I knew she saw, and it was a pain I would carry for a long time. I felt a profound sense of loss, not just for Emily, but for the future we had dreamed of together. In the weeks that followed, I threw myself into my work. The physical labor at the construction site became an outlet for my emotional turmoil. Each swing of the hammer, each brick laid, was a way to distract myself from the pain gnawing at my heart. My coworkers noticed the change in me. The once cheerful and easygoing Jake had become more reserved and introspective. Time passed, and though the pain dulled, it never truly disappeared. I occasionally heard about Emily and Leo through mutual friends. I learned about their trips to nearby cities, their explorations of art galleries, and their late-night discussions. A part of me was glad she was happy, but another part couldn't help but feel the sting of betrayal every time her name was mentioned. One day, Emily reached out to me. She asked to meet at our favorite coffee shop, the same place where we had spent so many afternoons together. I agreed, curious but cautious. As I walked into the cafe, I saw her sitting at our usual table. She looked different, more fragile, as if carrying a burden too heavy for her shoulders. I sat down, and Emily immediately started apologizing. Tears streamed down her face as she confessed that her relationship with Leo had fallen apart. She told me about Leo's manipulative side, his disappearances, and how she had discovered he was seeing another girl. Emily said she realized she had made a terrible mistake and asked if we could ever go back to how things were. I listened quietly, my expression unreadable. I had spent so many nights imagining this moment, wondering what I would say if Emily ever came back. But now that it was happening, I felt a strange sense of calm. After a long pause, I finally spoke, my voice steady but cold. Emily, I can't. What we had was special, but it's gone now. You chose to walk away, and I've had to accept that and move on. I can't go back to what we had. Knowing you betrayed it so easily. My words cut through her like a knife, but I knew it was the truth. I couldn't rebuild a relationship on the ashes of betrayal. I had to protect myself, to value my own worth. I got up, paid for my coffee, and without another word, walked out of the shop, leaving Emily alone with her regrets. As I walked down the familiar streets of the town, I felt a mix of emotions. There was a sense of finality, of closure, but also a lingering sadness for what could have been. The memories of our time together would always be a part of me, but I knew I had to look forward, not back. In the months that followed, I focused on healing and rebuilding my life. I spent more time with friends and family, rediscovering the joys of simple pleasures. I started taking night classes, hoping to advance my career in construction management. Slowly, I began to find myself again, piece by piece. I learned that some mistakes could not be undone, and some bridges, once burned, could never be rebuilt. I realized that love wasn't just about the good times, but also about trust and loyalty. Emily had taught me a painful lesson, but it was one that made me stronger and more resilient. As the seasons changed, so did I no longer looked at the past with regret, but with gratitude for the lessons learned. I understood that my journey was just beginning, and there was a world of possibilities ahead. The town, with all its familiar places and shared memories, became a backdrop for new beginnings rather than a reminder of lost love. I moved forward, carrying with me the knowledge that true love requires more than just affection. It demands trust, respect, and unwavering commitment. I vowed never to settle for anything less, and as I walked into the future, I did so with a heart that was both wiser and more hopeful than ever before.